Holy cow, the Denver Broncos just traded for Jaylen Waddle, and there's a lot to unpack about this. We're going to go over what they gave up, how he fits into the offense, the locker room's reactions, as well as the projected starters for next year. Plus the picks that Denver still has, the bigger picture in the AFC West, and why this potentially may not be the last move the Broncos make. Welcome to 5280 Playbook. I'm Kaysen, bringing you football from a mile high. And if you love the Denver Broncos or the NFL, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. All right, let's talk some football. First and foremost, the Broncos traded for Jaylen Waddle. Like, holy cow, need I say more about that? That is just amazing. Also, I am still recovering from my sickness, so I do apologize for that. But we're going to do the best we can. But anyways, the Broncos traded for Jaylen Waddle. Like, what the heck? We traded for him on Tuesday of last week, so I know this is old, but I wanted to make a video of it because I'm very excited about it. We gave up our first-round pick along with our third and fourth. Really, we just gave up our first and third overall picks. The fourth-round pick that we gave up, we swapped and we actually got a better pick in return. We got the 11th in the round versus the 30th in the round. So that's a big jump. But we got freaking Jaylen Waddle. And a lot of people are saying, oh, we kind of overspent for that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we did at all. We traded for a 30th overall pick in the first round, which to me, you're not going to draft a better player than Jaylen Waddle at pick 30. But this got me really hyped and I'm honestly so excited about it. And to people who say we overspent, I disagree. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And the Broncos will also inherit his team-friendly deal. So anybody who said that he was expensive, let me just prove you wrong right here. In 2026, he only has a 4.9 cap hit. 17 million of that will be in cash. In 2027, he does have a significant cap hit of 27. And in 2028, he has a 30 million cap hit. But we also have the 24 million in cash, as well as the $27 million in cash that we'll be paying as well. And in 2029, we can avoid the 6.1 million cap hit if we choose to, which I doubt we will. I bet we will work out a deal to re-sign him at that point. As long as the production's there, of course. It's honestly not too expensive, especially when there's players like T. Higgins getting paid out the wazoo. For instance, T. Higgins is getting paid 4 years, $115 million. And that was signed in March 2025, so last year. And he got guaranteed $30 million at signing with up to $40.9 million total guaranteed. And T. Higgins is very good, great receiver. But I just wanted to kind of give some reference to what we were paying. As we know, the Broncos were very close to trading for Jaylen Waddle in the deadline last year, but we were able to get him now. And the kind of player that we're getting to the locker room, he's not a typical diva wide receiver at all. He is a very good player, very good person. He actually went, and as soon as he found out that he was being traded, he went to the Dolphins facility and basically thanked everybody there, saying goodbye and all that good stuff for all the connections that he made over the past few years, which to me is very important, especially at the wide receivers position, because we know that receivers can be quote-unquote divas. And we also know with Sean Payton's locker room that he's created, everybody in Denver is very much team-oriented, which is very important. The best thing is that Pat Surtain gets to team up with his former teammate from Alabama, with Jaylen Waddle, of course. So we're going to get to see the two together again. It's also been released that Pat Surtain and Jaylen Waddle always wanted to play together in the NFL, when they were roommates back in college together in Alabama. And as you know, since they're best friends, they had to FaceTime each other as soon as the news broke loose. Pat Surtain even posted this to Twitter, and this isn't the only player reaction we're going to look at today. We also have Courtland Sutton getting fired up, which Courtland Sutton is a really big winner in this trade as well, as having Waddle will help open him up and potentially lead to more one-on-one matchups for Courtland Sutton. But Courtland Sutton simply said, "Let's go," which honestly was my reaction too. And the best part, the Broncos are going all in on Bo Nix's rookie contract, which we all know is a pretty cheap deal. So it's good to see that we're going all in at this time. And here's just a couple of notes from James Palmer about the Broncos acquiring Jaylen Waddle. He basically goes on to say that they've had a mutual interest in Waddle for a while now, and they didn't want to have to give up Courtland Sutton because they knew how important his role here was in Denver. And one of the biggest struggles for Denver last year was the middle of the field. And Jaylen Waddle attacks that completely. So really now you have a Broncos offense with little to no weakness. James Palmer also points out it was just a good financial decision by George Paton. And here's that middle of the field stuff that I was talking to you about. 40% of his receiving yards in 2025 came from the immediate center area of the field, aka the middle. Meanwhile, in the Broncos, we had Courtland Sutton at 13, Pat Bryant at 13, Marvin Mims at 13, and Troy Franklin at 7%. So we're definitely fixing that issue. And Luca Evans points out that Denver desperately needed a true intermediate between the hashes target for Bo Nix, which now they definitely have one with Jaylen Waddle, of course. And Albert Breer puts out that the Broncos landing Jaylen Waddle shows urgency to pursue a Super Bowl, which is honestly what we all want. We were only one game away from it this season. And in my opinion, all Broncos fans need to keep their February schedule open. And now let's talk about this year's draft. Let's see what all picks we have left. So we still have our second round pick, which is at 62. We have a round 4 via the Saints and another round 4 via the Dolphins. So there is a potential that we could trade up a few spots to get a third round pick. We have a pick 5, no round 6 pick, and then we do have 3 round 7 picks. So we definitely still have a lot of draft capital. And this is important because it allows us to fill the voids that are still empty from free agency. And the projected offense for the Broncos, pre-draft of course, is we have quarterback Bo Nix, running back J.K. Dobbins, wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver Courtland Sutton, wide receiver Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, tight end Evan Ingram, left tackle Garrett Bowles, left guard Ben Powers, center Luke Wattenberg, right guard Quinn Miners, and right tackle Mike McGlinchey. That is a pretty solid lineup if you ask me. And at the beginning of the offseason, George Paton said he was going to be aggressive. And the first week and a half of free agency, we were like, okay, where is this at? Where is this aggression that you, so to speak? And now we know where it was. It was just making phone calls, getting trades done. And Zach Stevens puts it clearly, landing Jaylen Waddle was a clearly that aggressive move. And on Thursday, the Broncos agreed to their first outside free agent signing this year, with the Broncos officially signing former Bengals safety Tyson Anderson. He was the key to the Bengals special teams, and he adds excellent depth, and he is an excellent special teams player, of course. And Zach Stevens also mentions that he's very reliable, as he hasn't missed a game in 2 years. Now we know that the Broncos are going to be aggressive. How aggressive are they going to be? Will they potentially target anybody else? And if they do, who will it be? One potential target that's still available is David Njoku. He would be a great fit for the Broncos offense and would really help the tight end room. But who else do you think the Broncos should target? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. On Monday last week, the Kansas City Chiefs traded for New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields. Now you're probably wondering, okay, why is this relevant? Well, the reason it's relevant is because Patrick Mahomes, as we know, had a season-ending injury last season. And to me, this kind of hints that maybe Patrick Mahomes will not be ready to go by the start of the season, and maybe not even by the midseason. Chiefs will also take on $3 million of the $10 million deal, guaranteed to Justin in 2026. So again, they're taking on extra cap, which they don't have very much room for. And Zach Stevens put it clearly here. He could legitimately see the field at the beginning of the season with Patrick Mahomes' injury. And in my opinion, if Justin Fields isn't performing well and the Chiefs aren't performing well as a whole, and they're losing a bunch of games, is it potential that Patrick Mahomes sits for the whole year? I mean, he did tear every ligament in his knee. And you're probably thinking this is a stretch. And maybe it is. However, it's just an idea. And we've seen situations like this happen in sports throughout, because Patrick Mahomes did get injured late in the season last year. All right, Broncos country, that's all the latest moves, signings, and rumors coming out of Denver as of now. The offseason is heating up while things were quiet early on. The Denver Broncos are clearly starting to make their moves, from key signings to bigger roster moves that could shape this team going forward. Do you think this move by the Denver Broncos to get Jaylen Waddle is enough to get them to the next level? Or do you think the Broncos should make another move? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next Broncos update. And as always, tune in next time for football from a mile high. High five.